Welcome to the Futurist Public Intellectual. This week celebrates the newest federal holiday to be recognized by the U.S. government, Juneteenth. Especially after the George Floyd protests in 2020, there was a push to have Juneteenth become a federal holiday, and in 2021, Congress and President Biden officially created the 11th federal holiday. But what is Juneteenth? It's supposed to be the day that celebrates the freedom of African slaves in Galveston, Texas, who only heard about their emancipation on June 19, 1865. It's such a curious holiday because it's so different from the other 10 holidays. 5 of them are just cultural holidays: New Year's, Independence Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. You can celebrate these 5 regardless of what kind of American you are. 2 are military related, Memorial Day and Veterans Day, and 3 are related to individuals of historical significance: Washington's birthday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and Columbus Day. Other than Columbus Day, all of these holidays are rather uncontroversial, and most of them are holidays that every American can appreciate on some level. Juneteenth is so different because unless you're a Black American, it doesn't really hold much significance. If you're an American of Jewish, German, or Japanese heritage, World War II is actually the more historically significant time period, not the Civil War. If you're a Vietnamese American, it would be the Vietnam War. If you're Afghan American, then it would be 9/11. If what the Union Army was fighting for in the Civil War was freedom and equality for all Americans, then it's important to recognize that the United States of 2023 is not the simple dichotomous black and white world of 1865. While I understand that racism is still embedded in American society, the way forward is not by looking backwards. In a diverse, pluralistic society like ours, we need to focus on unity. Singling out particular ethnic groups or subcultures does not facilitate cohesion. Holidays like Juneteenth simply reopen the wounds of the past. In fact, if Americans are all equal, then why are there now 2 federal holidays associated with Black Americans? That means Black Americans can proudly claim 18% of federal holidays, but what do Mexican Americans get? Don't Mexican Americans deserve a federal holiday since so much of the American West is formerly Mexico? If Juneteenth is a reminder of anything, now that 158 years have passed since slavery was abolished in this land, we need to find a way to move on. There are so many new Americans who are coming with more recent historical trauma, but they too need to move on. In the end, Juneteenth isn't even historically accurate. Slavery was actually abolished throughout the Union when the 13th Amendment was ratified by Georgia on December 6, 1865. If Americans truly want to celebrate the end of slavery, then December 6 is the historically significant date, not some random day when some Texan slaves were freed. Juneteenth seems to be another example of the type of woke madness that has ensnared the Biden administration. Let's hope that some future administration will consider repealing this holiday and replacing it with something more unifying. Thank you for listening to the Futurist Public Intellectual.